Hello, so this week we're focusing on Earth and its many layers. What I chose to do for my 3D model is a clay replica of Earth and its many layers. So what I did was I took a ball of clay, wrapped it with another color of clay, smoothed it out, got another layer of clay and put that on there and just continued until I had all the different layers. And then I sliced it open with a piece of dental floss, and this is what I was left with. So let's go over the different layers. So the first one I'll talk about is the inner core. This is the center of Earth. The pressure is intense in this area. The temperature is intense. Everything about this little area is so compacted that it is considered a solid ball. The inner core is about 4,000 miles beneath the crust, which is the outer layer of Earth that we'll talk about later. It's about 800 miles thick. Some say more detailed would be about 760 miles thick. The temperatures can reach up to about 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and the pressure is intense in this area. So it makes it, like I said, the center becomes very compact. It's made of iron mainly. And then the next layer is the outer core, which is represented by the orange layer here. And the outer core is just that. It's still part of our core, but it wraps around at the center. It's so hot that the metals in it are all in liquid state, which is really interesting. That so the inner core is held together also by this liquid of the outer core. They work together. It's about 1,800 miles beneath the crust, again, the outer layer, and it's about 1,400 miles thick. And it's composed of metals, nickel and iron. The next would be the mantle, which I have represented by this yellow here. The mantle, located actually right above the outer core, but it's also very hot and very dense rock, and it flows like asphalt under heavy weights due to the temperature differences from the bottom and top of the mantle. So beneath the mantle, you have all this heat and intensity happening, but above, things start to get a little less hot than they are in the center. So it makes the temperatures vary. So the mantle varies from 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit at the top to about 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit in the bottom. And it is about 1,800 miles thick. The next layer is going to be the lithosphere, and that's represented by this thin little lime green strip that goes around the mantle. It's made up of the brittle rock. Because of its much denser and thicker materials, the plates inside of it float. So it says that it floats because of the current, which I just represented as this black strip around the lithosphere. These currents, they're caused by hot materials at the deepest part of the mantle rising and then cooling. Then there is, after the lithosphere, there is a asthenosphere, which is represented by this purple right here, this purple strip. And it is part of the mantle that flows and moves the plates of the Earth as well. So it also coincides with all of that. Then the next layer is the crust. So the crust is very complex. So yeah, we label the crust as the outer layer, but there is a lot going on with the crust. There's the oceanic crust, which is about 25 miles thick under the oceans, and that's right here. So we know the oceans are located on our crust, but there's also some other layers that matter as well. So the continental crust is this green and brown represented right here on the crust. This is the outer layer. These are our oceans. So underneath our oceans is this oceanic crust. And then we have the continental crust, that part of the crust is below what we live on. So the different continents that are represented on Earth. Then we also have the ice caps, the polar ice caps, and these are located on the North and South poles. So those all make up the crust. Okay, so that concludes my description of my 3D model of the layers of Earth.